How's it going, YouTube? I got a Sitivien here today. I don't buy a lot of Sitiviens, but this is the ST154 made in China. All the Sitivien boxes are the same. Sometimes you don't even get this, but I guess this is a microfiber cloth. And it smells like China. Alright. Here is the knife. This is the first Sitivien knife I've ever seen that I bought as soon as I seen it. Because it was funky. You see those waves? It's very funky. Flipper tab. I'll wipe it off some more. Tell me you've seen another knife that looks like this. You can't. Alright, this is a David Chin design. I think I have one other knife designed by him. Yep, one other knife. This is the Petrified Fish Scout. He does some stuff for Sitivien. He's got more than one. He's got several petrified fish and some 2 sons. Probably more, but that's what I know of. It's $35 right now because it's new. I'm sure it'll go down. But you got a 3.55 inch 14C 28 inch sheep's foot blade with a flat grind, satin finish, dual toned. You kind of got a black wash up here. Not sure why they do that. The top of the blade is black washed. It's almost like the entire blade was black washed. They found out it was too thick and just grinded some of it off. But who knows? Blade stock on this knife is 3.45 millimeters or 0.136. Got an overall length of 8.5 inches, so it's full size plus. Got several knives to compare it to real quick. These two are just similar blade shapes. They're not nowhere near the same size. The Kaiser Cormorant, the Petrified Fish Bunta, both way smaller than it. And I have several complaints with this knife, but I will get to them at the end of the video. The 2 Son TS408, which is another bigger knife. And the only other Sitivien I currently own, Sitivien St154. It's about the same size as this one. 2 more. Kaiser Kobold 2. And the Petrified Fish Loco. It's pretty close to the Loco and just a little bit bigger than the Kobold. Oops. You got a 4.88 inch handle, 0.67 inches wide, which is way more than normal. And the close width in the pocket, about 1.77 from the flipper tab to here. And here's one of the big flaws, 6.4 ounces. We'll go over that more later. But you got T6 screws, except for the pivot. And you got this G10. It's got the G-Mascus thing going on right in here. Not sure if they meant to stop it at this line, but it looks like they did. And they misprinted. So it doesn't look as good as it should. But you can tell this is just printed over because it's even not lined up right here. You see the black at the top? This is supposed to be up a little bit. That's a QC issue, I'm guessing. You got multiple deployment options. Of course, the flipper tab, which has jimping on the top. You got the hole, which works good for reverse flicking and thumb flicking. It's a liner lock, and you have good enough access to the lock bar. It's chamfered also. The lock-up's about 30% or so. But the liner's being so thick, it doesn't look like a thick lock-up. Weird. You have a very good sharpening tool. Well, it's kind of hard to tell where the plunge ends. No, yeah, it looks good. And the blade did come really sharp. Yeah, I got like a 105 on my best tester. It's pretty surprising. Did a good job on sharpening. It's fairly even on both sides. Now let's go over my dislikes. It does have good action. 6.4 ounces is now officially my heaviest knife. It takes over first place for my Tucson TS408, which is in titanium. Weighs a little bit more than it. 6.4 is just too heavy for a daily EDC. 5 ounces would be pushing it. The pocket clip is just disgusting. I'm going to show you how it works. I don't normally do this, but the pocket clip's this bad, I gotta show you. You gotta fight with it to even get it in your short or your pants. And you got about that much sticking out, not deep carry. It does have good tension since it's so tight, but it's tight enough that it's gonna start ripping your pocket eventually. Of course, I don't like the billboarding. All the logos are really big, kind of unnecessary. I really hate these dual blade finishes. Either make it satin, stone washed, or black wash the whole blade. This dual tone stuff makes it look even cheaper, but that's just me. And their quality control issues. I know it's a cheap knife and they can't do a bunch of prototypes, but you print one out and you see problems, you don't just go ahead and do the rest of the batch. Like, I know you can see that this needs to be moved up. I did take it apart. One of the balls in the ball bearings fell out, and the tolerances were so tight that I couldn't get the stop pin back in. I had to take the diamond file to get it to even go back together. But you don't really have to take it apart. That was just me being curious. It does have good detent. You can't really fail it, I don't think. You have jimping up top. There's a lot of good things about this knife. If they would just, really, if they would have fixed the weight and the pocket clip, it would be great. I could deal with the rest of it. Now, for 6.4 ounces, I wouldn't recommend this for EDC. If you don't mind the pocket clip, then as a weight, it could be a knife you leave in your car or your toolbox or at home. But I don't see people carrying this around. But it does weigh less than a cell phone, so I guess you could carry it. Well, I'll leave the link down below if you want one. Not sure yet if I'm going to keep mine, but we'll see. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like and comment, and see you in the next one.